We move on now to the U.S., where the stock index futures pointed to a flat to slightly open lower as investors prepare themselves for a deluge of news out of the political and economic spheres. On Thursday, British citizens will head to the polling stations to vote in the nation's general election, with investors currently eyeing the latest polls and moves in sterling for any indications on what the results might be. In the U.S., the former FBI Director James Comey is expected to testify on Thursday in front of the Senate Intelligence Committee, marking his first public comment since being dismissed by the U.S. President. And of course, Thursday will also mark the European Central Bank's latest monetary policy meeting, where investors will be examining President Mario Draghi's rhetoric when it comes to the future of ECB policy. Meanwhile, consumer credit is slated to come out at 3 p.m. Eastern Time, with mortgage applications also due out, I guess, at about now. In Asia, market closed mixed today as the markets cautiously awaited a trial of political major risk events on Thursday that include the UK election, a European Central Bank review, and of course former FBI Director James Comey's testimony to the Senate stateside. The Nikkei 225 closed the session up by 0.02%. South Korea's Kospi reopened after a public holiday to trade lower by 0.36%. The Australian ASX 200 reversed earlier gains to finish flat at 5,667.2. Markets in Greater China were mixed, with Hong Kong's Hang Seng Index trading 0.17% down. The Shanghai Composite surged 1.24% and the Shenzhen Composite rose 2.194%. And to commodities now. Nigeria's Trans-Forcados crude oil loading facility came back on stream last weekend, some 40 months after it was damaged by Niger Delta militants. The Chief Executive Officer of Shoreline Natural Resources, Dr. Ladi Bada, tells Channels Television today that loading resumes at the Delta State platform after repairs cost an estimated $100 million and a total revenue loss north of $2 billion. And earlier today, Royal Dutch Shell, the owner and operator of the main Forcados oil terminal, says it has lifted force majeure on the facility that has capacity for nearly 250,000 barrels of oil per day. Forcados facility was repaired last October but could not be operated as militants threatened they would hit it up again. Last week, Shell issued a loading program for June, with Forcados resumption raising Nigeria's total exports to at least a 15-month high. And to the global oil markets, prices dipped today, with Brent crude futures around $50 per barrel as fuel markets remained oversupplied, although tension in the Middle East and falling U.S. inventories lent some support. Brent crude futures were at $50.08 per barrel in early trade, down 4 cents from their last close. Brent is 7% below its open on May 25, when OPEC said they, along with producers outside of the group, such as Russia, would extend their oil output cuts through to the first quarter of 2018. U.S. West Texas Intermediate crude futures were at $48.14 per barrel, down 5 cents from the previous close and 6% below their May 25 open. All right, let's look at what's happening back here at the fixed income markets. Of course, the Treasury bills market closed on a bullish note on Tuesday, with average yield contracting by 12 basis points to 18.35%. However, the bond market closed on a bearish note, with average yield expanding by 11 basis points to 16.87. Let's get a sense of today's proceeding as we're being joined by a fixed income dealer with Wema Bank, Ifeanyi Akweche. Good afternoon, Ifeanyi. Thank you very much for joining us.
Okay, yes. Good afternoon.
So tell me, what is the sentiment like today at the fixed income market?
The fixed income market today is experiencing some mixed reactions. For the treasury bills market, we had the same trend of bearish performance, especially at the short end or the yield call. Basically because we're expecting some debit in the system. Although the market liquidity today, as we have it from the central bank, is about 115 to 120 billion. And with that, we still expect FX funding and more funding and expected savings bond funding at the end of the week. So we really expect the very performance to continue. Although we've not seen a lot of it at the long end of the yield curve, especially the T-bills market, but we still expect the trend to continue as we approach the debit from the central bank.
All right, thank you very much, Ifeanyi, for that update. We'll take a quick break. When we return, of course, we'll take a quick look at the FX market. Do stay with us.